Okay, on this one, I was going to show how to use the invisible zipper feet. They're sometimes called concealed zipper, invisible zipper, two names for it. I have three of these ones. The first one, the clear one, is a generic one. And then this one is my baby lock zipper foot. Brother came a couple years ago with this newest invisible zipper foot. They actually call it concealed zipper foot. I do like this one the best. All of these work, but that is my favorite. And then of course we will need invisible zipper, which really is the difference from your normal zipper is that the coil is all behind. So in the front side you don't see the coil. So when the zipper has been inserted, all you really should see is just a zipper pull. So I use it quite a bit on pillows because that just kind of makes it nicely blend in. Well, on these, and then of course one other tool I like to use is some kind of a pasting tape. Then that way I don't have to pin. I could just use my fingers to hold things together, but the pasting tape does help. And there are multiple brands. This one is an Aira Stitch Perfection tape. The Wonder tape is similar, or then just the kind of even the 8-1-inch pasting tapes work also. Multiple ones. Well, these ones, if I use these, all the ones, all the feet, I would really need to press this zipper coil open. So see, I really have to because I need to get my stitching right on that beside that coil, and that way it becomes invisible. This foot, I don't have to do it because the groove on this one has been slanted, so it kind of automatically pushes it out of the way, and also that little toe kind of keeps it in the right spot. So if I use these ones, I would need to press. I'm going to show on just on an iron here to see how that would work. So if I need to press this one, and the really helpful things would be to use these little silicone fingers, because otherwise it's very easy to burn your fingers when doing this one. So let me put at least one of those on my finger, because I don't want to scorch my finger. So I'm going to put the wrong side up, and it's kind of just to kind of if I put it on a foot, right finger, it will work. I'm going to just pull this one open so that I can get onto the, really see that fabric part. And then, yes, I can put iron on top of it. It does not melt the that zipper coil. You don't want to hold it so long that it would help, it would melt it. But here, it's going to see that how it just opens it up a bit, so it's easier for me to stitch it right onto that spot. But with this brother zipper foot, the concealed zipper foot, I don't need to even do that one. But that would be something that if I was using some of those other ones that doesn't have that slanted groove, that is when I would really want to press. And you see, it's a little bit of a tricky to do. So anyway, so my favorite one is that. So let me show how I'm going to do another pillow back. Okay, I have put that tape on the right side of the zipper, and easy way to kind of get started is to take a pin and score a little bit on that surface on the release tape, and then we can peel it out. And just peel it out from one side. It's not a really tight hold, and especially my fabric is upholstery fabric, so it doesn't hold it really tight, but it gives me a little bit more control on that one. So I'm gonna put the zipper between a little narrower strip and a wider strip, and I have searched the edges before, because otherwise those edges just would be raying too much. This upholstery fabric travels a lot, so I will need it to do that one first. So I have just to press that zipper tape onto my right side of the fabric. Important thing is that your zipper coil is towards the fabric, so your the kind of the seam allowance is lined up with the zipper tape. And you need to put this zipper on when it's open. That is how this zipper, the invisible or concealed zipper feet work. And if I'm using on this side, and you always show it from the open end towards where the zipper pull is. So if I'm sewing on this side where my coil is towards the right, I will put my that coil into the right side of a groove also. So kind of line it up on that one. Again, I missed my knee lever here. So I'm just going to line it up right there. And my needle is at the center position. Don't move it anywhere else. Either both sides when we do, we just we put that the zipper coil into the groove where it's needed. And then we will always use the needle center position. So you can just see that that little toe is running right next to that zipper coil. So if I use those other zipper feet, I would need to just have it opened a bit, and then I can line it up the same way. They would kind of go the same way here, and I would just gonna have, if it's pressed open, it'll then needle at the center position. But with this one, I don't even need to press it. I may sometimes just use my fingers a little bit just to push it out of the way. The main thing is that that little toe is just traveling right on that beside that zipper tape. The coil, sorry, zipper coil. All these terms, this is the tape, there's the coil, and then there is the pull and the slider. It's kind of the anatomy of the zipper. The invisible zippers need to be always had a little bit longer than your opening is, because we can't go all the way to the end. So, and this time I am going to leave even a little bit more because I want to sew a seam on the both ends on this one. If I didn't want to do that part, I will just go all the way to the end, have a longer zipper. But I want to have a little close seam on both sides, because then I don't have all that zipper tape inside the seam allowance. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a back stitch in there. Cut the threads. So that is one side done. And then this is kind of often when I did this in a class, I get these comments that, oh, I did something wrong, this is not going to line up. Well, the trick on this one is that, that is how I kind of have my memory rule, is that I have my zipper still wrong side up. So you kind of see the back side of the zipper, and my fabrics are right side up. So I will take now this other side, and I just keep as it is, and I will just slide it over on this one. So it kind of looks like I have a little twisty in here. Don't worry about that one. It will sort out all right. But that was my kind of little memory rule, that I have it like my zipper would be in here if it was closed. I do not twist or flip or anything. I will just move it right there. But before that one, I will need to take my tape out. So let me just to score the surface a little bit. The reason I only do one at a time, because if I put both of them at the same time, it's going to easily get caught on somewhere, and I don't want to tape them both at the same time, because this tape is not holding super tightly, so it could just fall off. And then one thing what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have these ones lined up so that I have the same amount of fabric showing up on the top. My piece in here is a bit larger than needed, which I often do when I do pillows. I make it just a little bit larger, sew it, and then I will trim it. That way my layers don't shift, especially when I have these upholstery fabrics. Here we go. So this time, again, I'm just, when I sewed this one, I put the zipper coil into the right groove. Now I'm going to slide it up underneath the same way, but this time I'm going to have my zipper coil to go to the left groove. So it just works exactly the same. That's why I find that these are the easiest zippers you ever do, because all you have to do is just to needle at the center position, and I have my normal 2.5mm stitch length. And I have all-purpose polyester thread, because it's a stronger thread than cotton. I never sew home decor stuff with the cotton thread. I save that one for quilting and piecing, and then also for my heirloom sewing. And this is especially because I have polyester fabrics. You want to use polyester or this might be some plains, but you definitely want to use polyester thread. So this is a Metro seam I use. And just a little bit of a back stitch in there. And so this is what I, every time when I do a class, I get these questions that I did something wrong. These are all twisted. And I said, no, it's not. It's just we had to kind of twist the fabrics a little bit. But as long as you sewed them this way, that you the coils were the wrong side up, the zipper tapes were wrong side up, coils on towards the fabrics that we want to keep, we just may have to do a little flip on this one. I'm going to flip it underneath. I just have to kind of do a little bit of flipping around, and ta-da! Here is my invisible zipper. I said all you would see is the zipper pull. I can kind of try to pull it further out. I'd give a little press. But then these two ends, I want to close these ones. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to use my narrow zipper foot. I could use the standard zipper foot too that comes with the machine, invisible. So the adjustable zipper foot work really well too. But I found that this one I can get into the right spot. So what I need to do now is sew. Gonna pull that zipper tape end out of the way, and I want to try to sew my seam together so that I line it up as close as I can with this spot in here where my zipper started. I don't know if it shows well in the camera. Well, obviously I need to move my needle position, so I'll put it all the way to left, because on this zipper foot, if I have it at the center, I'm gonna break a needle. Don't wanna do that one. And then go in there. I can see better on this side, so I'm gonna just pull out that zipper tape out of the way, line it up in there as close as I can. So you can really see the reason why I want to use this narrow zipper foot rather than the one that comes with the machine, because I can't really get close enough with that one. Back stitch in there too. I didn't back stitch in the end because I'm gonna trim part of it out anyway. So that way I have now closed the end of it also, and I can maybe just a little tacking on this one, so I can cut the excess of this zipper tape out. That way it doesn't get caught in the seam allowance. And then I will need to do the same thing on this end. So I'm going to leave my zipper a little bit. I need to have this a little bit more open so I can match those seam allowances the same way. And that's again one reason I try to have a little bit larger pieces in case they didn't line up exactly. I can trim it out. That's called Aira's fudge factor. Here we go. And that again, I'm sorry, I keep my hands in front of the camera when I try to adjust that one. So now, and again, I'm going to try to line up those ends as close as I can. That adjustable zipper foot gets you even closer. So I'm going to just try to do as close as I can on that. And here's my other end closed also. That way all that bulk is not going to be in the seam allowance. So here it is. Here is my invisible zipper. And I said it's my favorite ones to put. They're the easiest ones to install.